is my life. Oh no, we don't have to listen to you, 'cause we still gonna do just what we wanna do. Won't you leave us alone? It's our life. Like oh no, I don't have to listen. It's St. Louis.
Welcome to the A-Train Show. And now here's your host, the A-Train, Arlington Lane.
Yeah, true chatter. Yeah, I think it's time for more true chatter. Going every day 100 new fake.
Welcome to this edition of the A-Train Show, the A-Train Arlington Lane, back at it again here on the X-Fan page. My goodness, it's Tuesday, so much going on, and we had drama last night. If you stayed up till in the Central Time of 2 a.m., if you stayed up then, you probably saw this.
Down to their last out in game one.
Not that one, you idiot. This one.
In Los Angeles. Foreman sends a fly ball to center field. Varsho's going back before the clock strikes midnight. Freddie Freeman has ended it. It's a repeat hero with the last word on a Game 3 classic.
So you saw that, right? And then if you were around last year to see the World Series, you saw this. Now play the clip.
Down to their last out in game one. Freeman hits the ball to right field. She is gone! Gibby, meet Freddie. Game one of the World Series.
Freddie Freeman channeling his inner Kirk Gibson. A walk-off.
All right, so you saw that, right? Freddie Freeman hits his second walk-off home run in the World Series. It's never been done before. So, yeah, I want to jump off. To start in the World Series. Hey, listen, y'all, this has been fun. I don't think y'all understand how great this really is for the game of baseball. And then you got a guy like a Freddie Freeman and a Shohei Ohtani and a Vladimir Guerrero in this setting. And I think this series is going to do just as big a numbers as it did last year. And shout out to those that stayed up in the East. I think it was like 3 a.m. Because honestly, the game ended at 2:55 a.m. Eastern time. And I was curious when it got to extras. I was like, okay, it should end here. But there were so many mistakes happening that it wasn't going the way it was going to go. I had a feeling a home run was going to be the ender. I just didn't know who. But one thing I learned from John Schneider is that he was not going to let Ohtani beat them. Not doing it. John, he refused. And it didn't matter. Only time that it mattered, I think it was in, what was it, the 16th or 17th? Ohtani had to come to the plate. It was a man on base, and he had to pitch to him. And they were able to get him. They walked him still. It didn't matter. He was walked regardless. It wasn't even intentional. He still walked. So that just goes to show you how amazing Shohei Ohtani really is. And for Freddie Freeman to hit another walk-off home run in Dodger Stadium in the World Series is amazing by itself. It's like that man can't do no wrong. And if you saw the clips, you would have seen that he hit them off. The walk-off home runs were both off left-handed pitchers. So you try that lefty-lefty matchup, there's a great chance you're not going to win. And I mean, for the opposing pitcher, you're not going to win. Because he threw it a 3-2 right down Freddie Freeman's pipe, and he knocked it. He did exactly what he's supposed to do with it, pause. But my thing is, he did what was done, need to be done. And Dodgers now have a 2-1 series lead in this series. And again, they play again tonight with Shohei Ohtani on the mound, who in his last start, which was Game 4 of the NLCS, which led to a series sweep of the Milwaukee Brewers. He pitched 6 innings, and then he hit 3 home runs. I've gotten a chance to see Ohtani in person when he played with the Angels. And in that game, he struck out 12 in 6 innings and got 3 hits. So I'm like, there's nothing that man cannot do. He can even steal. What pitcher do you know can steal bases? I'm telling you, the stuff that you're seeing these days, and this is not just baseball. This also goes along with basketball, that you're seeing athletes that can do more than what they're supposed to be doing. Like a pitcher stealing bases is stuff you see on the video game. When you put them on 99 on everything, even in as a batter, that's ridiculous. It's freaking ridiculous. And just saying, man, Ohtani is one of those athletes that, you know, I applaud, man. Like, good grief. I know a lot of people want to give him hell because of the alleged sports gambling. We're going to talk a bit about that. That was one topic I definitely wanted to discuss on the show today, was the sports gambling crisis that's going on. And in my opinion, I think it's nothing but a quote unquote political distraction. But my thing with Ohtani, Freddie Freeman, and my boy Mookie Betts, who did get, he got a hit or two last night. He ain't done really anything, but those two guys definitely have. Or in clutch moments when needed, they were there. I got my Chicago Bulls shirt on today, repping my 3-0 Chicago Bulls. Shout out to all the Bulls fans, wherever you are. Yeah, man, a lot going on. I'm just getting started. I don't think that, depending on what the outcome is today, this series is going back to Toronto. I don't think it's going to end in Los Angeles. Shockingly enough, I'd seen Dave Roberts during that game. He put out Yamamoto. It got beyond the 18 inning. Granted, I think he's not supposed to pitch until game 5. So putting him out there for just a couple of innings, I don't think would have hurt him. But man, I have to give a shout out to Will Klein, man. When I say Will Klein went in and dominated, straight dominated in his outing. I think he had like 4, maybe 5 innings he pitched and got out of jam after jam after jam. And if anything, that's the MVP of that game. We can say about the Freddie Freeman home run, but if Klein doesn't make the shutout, the entire bullpen in that setting, if like, come on, man, like this is just insane. Just think about it. That went on for 11 innings. 11. And I hate that I'm hoping George Springer is back for game 4, or that he's able to continue in this postseason, because I think that might cause the Blue Jays to not get the series back to Toronto. And you know they want to get it back to Toronto. But game 4 is tonight. Interestingly enough, to see how short of a leash Ohtani gets when he's on the mound. I guess I need to know the pitch count for Max Scherzer, and know how far he could have actually gone in the game. I get it, he's 41, and he wants to pitch like there's no tomorrow. And so I really was captivated by that, and the way that the game went. We got 2 games in 1. And you got another 9 innings to play, at least 9. We'll see if it goes to extra. If it goes to extra again, man, I don't know how these boys can hang on the way that they can. But it just showcases that this is an exciting series and no team wants to be the loser here. So if you haven't checked it out, this is a great opportunity. Game 4 should do that type of work. And I hope that the Blue Jays aren't demoralized by losing in 18 innings. Granted, there were several times it looked like the Blue Jays was going to get the edge, but time after time that bullpen was able to get out of it. So far, it's been a great series. So, man. Got to move over to my favorite sport, the NBA. Showed you my Chicago Bulls, 3-0. I'm shocked. I got an opportunity last Wednesday to check out the home opener of Chicago Bulls, and I would have been very upset if they had that 23-point lead and they lost. But they did squander it. Because Detroit definitely fought back, tied the game at 105. And I'm sitting with my homeboy, and he's sitting there loving it because he's a big Pistons fan. And I'm sitting there wondering, I'm like, I did not come all this way to check the Bulls, and they lose. And they pulled it out in the end. I think they won by like 4. But they messed around and beat the Magic. If you checked out last Tuesday's show when I had Brandon Scoopy Robinson on, he said that the Orlando Magic was one of those teams that could really make some noise come playoff time. And they dealing with some early struggles right now going into the season. And you hear about those stories where teams that struggle at the beginning climb to make a bigger finish. But surprisingly enough, Chicago has hung around playing team basketball, because I think that's what's going to have to be the core, at least until Kobe White comes back. And now hopefully when he gets back into the mix, the same thing can still be applied. That team basketball work. Shout out to Ayo Dosunmu yesterday, leading the charge for the Bulls with 21 points in their win against the Atlanta Hawks. That's what it looks like right now. And I'm seeing other teams that don't really have stars do that same thing. Let me see, man. Trying to get a note from this past week. And that's crazy, man. So over just this week, a week and a half since we started. No, it's been officially a week. We've had 4 50-point games. 4. Lauri Markkanen, Austin Reeves with the 51 against the Kings, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with his 55, and then Aaron Gordon with his 50-point game. So that's just bananas all by itself. And then we had 16 players with 40-point games, or I should say 16 40-point games to start the year. So a lot of scoring is happening, and exciting times for the NBA. If you like to do sports betting, like I said, I'm touching a bit about it in a little bit. You're either happy or you're ticked off right now. And a lot of you probably ticked off. If you have bet on winners, please send them my way. Let me understand so we can all get a piece of this pie. Because, man, these outcomes are driving me insane. They're driving me crazy, man. We got plenty of points to put up, and I like it so far, man. I like it. Shout out to Stat Muse. Let's see, Lauri Markkanen's 51 was against Phoenix. I remember Austin Reeves against the Kings. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was against Indiana in 45 minutes, and that was overtime. I'm like, I know them guys are tired. And then Aaron Gordon did his 50 ball against the Golden State Warriors in a game where I thought, did he miss? Dude was 10 from 11 from 3. Like, he just could not miss. I know he was upset that 1, he didn't get the win, but 2, he missed the 3 because he couldn't. So yeah, that's if we're looking at those stats. Let's see if I can pull that up real quick. And this is my Stat Muse. There it is. Lauri Markkanen's 51. You can't see it, but there it is. Those are the highs: 51, 51, 55, and 50. So 4 50 pieces in just week 1. And I understand for the Lakers standpoint, they're going to have to rely a lot on Austin Reeves until Luka gets back. LeBron's going to be out for a while. So Um, just expect more scoring. So I know that bettors are going to be, well, at least the odds makers are going to start upping the ante a little bit on Austin Reeves and Shea Gilgeous-Alexander for sure. You can't really tell with Aaron Gordon and Lauri Markkanen because even though they got big games, they won't continue to do that, especially for Aaron Gordon's case, because just the other night against Minnesota, Jokic had a triple-double, and then Jamal Murray had a 40-piece himself. So that's where we are right now in the NBA. So if you're better, be careful with Aaron Gordon and even be careful with Lauri Markkanen. At least for Austin Reeves' case, Austin is going to take a lot of shots. So if he has you know what? Be careful with that dude too. Even though he's going to pretty much be the playmaker for this group until Luka returns, be careful with him because he'll start shooting his life away. But yeah, it's been a good start to the NBA so far. I see that in action tonight, the 3-0 76ers along with the 3-0 Bulls are not playing tonight. They won't play till Wednesday night against the Kings. That's their next opponent. The Wizards are going at it against 76ers to see if they can stay undefeated to start the year. Victor Wembanyama, folks. I got to mention Vic because Vic pissed me off this past week on Prize Picks. I needed him for 29.5. I took the over and he had 29. And then Bobby Portis, I needed 11.5 from him. He gives me 11. A free throw just helps the cause, guys. A free throw just helps the cause. But again, the things that Victor Wembanyama is doing out on the floor is literally NBA 2K my player feature. You know, when you build your guy to be 7'10" and put him all at 99 so he can dominate on the floor, that's literally what that guy is at 7'5". And he's bulking up too. You know, he just still looks skinny, but he's like a Chet Holmgren, you know, that type of size. And it makes it difficult, you know, for you to stop him. Like, he can hit the three. He can take you to the basket. When he dunks, it look like he does it with little to no effort. And when he did a reverse, I think it was that first or second game, took the ball, went to the basket, did the reverse. And I'm like, did he even get off the floor? So that just goes to show you, hey, if you want things to be interesting come All-Star Weekend, put him in the slam dunk contest. Ask to see if he'll do the slam dunk contest. Because if he go out there, I'm gonna need them to give him an 11-foot rim just to do the event. He can do the 10. I want to see, but you know what? I want to see what he will be able to do on a 10-inch. I mean, a 10-foot rim, but I want to see what he could do on an 11-foot rim. Like when we had Dwight Howard do that. Dwight Howard at 6'11" has a 38-inch vertical. So he could do that crap with ease. Like it was nothing to him where he just slammed it down. He didn't even need to put his hands on the rim. That's how high he can jump. Like I want to know how high Victor Wembanyama can really jump. Because this is insanity we're seeing so far this year. Like it's crazy with Victor Wembanyama. And Coach Johnson for the Spurs is keeping that winning mentality alive for San Antonio. And you know what? I should have never knocked it, because when Pop stepped down, I was like, well, who's going to take care of this team? You got to understand what Pop has been able to do. Pop is not a coach. And I heard Steven Jackson on All the Smoke say that about him, that he's not a coach. He's more executive mindset. He got coaches that does the work for him, and they just make it work. And what he was able to pull off, getting Johnson as the coach now for San Antonio, is Mitch Johnson. Mitch Johnson has employed the same mentalities as Greg Popovich, because as an assistant, you learn that type of thing. Becky Hammond has 3 championships right now with the Vegas Aces. And she came from the coaching tree of Greg Popovich. So, hey, I know it's early as we sit here now, but watch out for San Antonio. San Antonio is in I like to mention different names that say different things. Scoop B said it's a stacked Western Conference. Like, it's legitimately stacked. And they could mess around, slide in, and get one of those 6 seeds. You can call me crazy if you like. That's fine. This is one of those squads. Somebody's going to be reduced. And I hope it's not Minnesota. And the reason why I throw Minnesota out there is because those last 2 years it looked like a bit of a regression of sorts. You get to the conference finals 2 years ago, and then you get knocked out, I think, in the semis. That's a squad that they're going to go on Anthony Edwards' back. And you don't have Alexander Walker this season because he went to Atlanta. So you do miss somewhat of a defensive piece for Minnesota, but they can regain that with this season. And that's why, I'm very curious to see where Minnesota goes this year. And you know how you have the play-in tournament with the 10 seeds, 8 of those teams are going to have 500 or better records. Because that's how the Western Conference is. Until that changes, like with the East, and the East is stronger, I don't see how that changes in the West. And it is, like I said, it is an early start. I've been very, very happy with what I've been seeing on this NBA on NBC stuff. I need to see what the ratings were for last week. A lot of people are down in it, and a lot of people are I'm liking it. I'm liking what I see on NBA on NBC. And you get outlets that have different narratives that want to slide it just because they don't like some of the people that play professional basketball. Let me put it that way. But at this rate, I think it's in a good place. I know tonight there are 2 games that's going to be featured on NBC and Peacock. If I remember correctly, it is the Knicks and the Bucks. Yep. And then you got the Clippers and the Warriors. That's another late game. So you got 5 games on the schedule with Philly and Washington, Charlotte and Miami, New York and Milwaukee, Sacramento, Oklahoma City, and then Clippers, LA against Golden State. Those are the 5 for tonight. All right, y'all. as we continue on with the A Train show, we keep riding. I was going to ride. And then run my ride to Chicago and then rode to Los Angeles and stuff in New York City. Let's talk a little bit about this sports gambling crisis. I'll give you my thoughts on it. It sucks. It really, really sucks. And I remember talking to some people about this situation. And it's like, you got millionaires that are staying greedy. I mean, have we not learned from what has happened in the past with the referees? And even then with the Tim Donahue situation, this was during an era where you still were setting up with bookies, making bets. You didn't have your phone to make a bet. You didn't have a phone to put down who your teams where players are. Now that sports betting has been made official and legal, there are folks that's trying to steadily skim. And unfortunately, it's with Terry Rozier. Now, here's my thing with him. Why are you point shaving in the NBA? It's the NBA. And I get it. Jonte Porter got banned for that. Who knows what it is with Malik Beasley? Some tells me he beat the so-called allegations, even though there has been evidence that it looks like that he was fixing games. And he showed a game with Terry Rozier in Miami. I think it was against Charlotte. And he looked like he fixed it. There was another player, too, that was mentioned. And it was just speculation. And that person plays for the Golden State Warriors. And it was a game against Minnesota. And he made some comments about, I'm going to do this. And yet that kind of been swept under the rug with Draymond Green. Like, I would not be surprised if there were bigger players and stars that were doing the same thing. I'm not saying he did. I'm saying I wouldn't be surprised if those guys were doing the same thing. They just ain't getting caught. So, in the way that the NBA is now trying to do damage control with this situation, if you have Malik Beasley, I'm guessing, I really am guessing that he beat the allegations. Because I have not heard anything. Yeah. So he's been cleared. So he beat the allegations. And it's like looking at Gilbert Arenas. And Gilbert Arenas has been trolling lately about this whole situation, especially with Chauncey Billups, now with Damon Jones. And I actually got a chance to meet Chauncey Billups some time ago, probably about 5, maybe 6 years ago. And, you know, he was telling me about some franchises that he was working with. You know, at the time in St. Louis, a lot of the Wendy's had closed. And, you know, Wendy's is in my opinion, one of the best damn good fast food joints around. And slowly yet surely, they started putting back Wendy's restaurants. There was one not far from me that was closed. And I was like, that was open for years. And they opened that back up, you know, rechristened it and everything. And he was like, yeah, I'm here to check on the franchises and stuff, and, you know, to make sure everything is good and everything fruitful. And I'm like, yeah, see, look what he's doing. He's doing some good things behind the scenes and whatnot. And this was way before he got the job in Portland. And to hear or see him get arrested for these illegal poker games, I'm like, I hope these joints wasn't a front just so he can do this dirt. I hope it wasn't, because in my opinion, Chauncey Billups is a good dude. But when money is on the table, you do whatever you can to get it. And it's like, well, this is just a few people that's dealing with gambling crises, illegal poker games, and all that stuff. That's why Gilbert Arenas was thrown into that mix, and he was out there trolling after he got cleared of his allegations. But sports gambling, it's here. It's here to stay. It's going no freaking where. Nowhere. So how can we stop this gambling crisis? As long as Vegas is still open, there will always be sports gambling. As long as Reno or Atlantic City still got casinos and whatnot, sports gambling going nowhere. Well, why should it? If that's the case, then you need to get rid of statewide lotteries. If you're going to get rid of sports gambling, you got to get rid of statewide lotteries. That means you got to get rid of the Powerball. You got to get rid of the little lottos, if they're still even around, state lotteries, those big games that they do. You got to get rid of them all. But they want the money, the opportunity of getting the money. I would like a piece of that as well. I'm not going to sit here and act like I don't do it, but I try. And a lot of times it's very, 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 very frustrating. Yeah, it's a losing battle, but it's never going to go anywhere. It's never going anywhere. And that's the thing here. There's no real, it's just that people are getting caught doing illegal things with this stuff. Because in Missouri, it's dropping December 1st, at least for FanDuel. Shoot, it may have dropped earlier for other spots. They just ain't saying anything. But they're saying December 1st is when they're going to drop these sports books. You don't think these people finna get on their phones and start? And the players themselves, shout out to Ty Simpson in Alabama. They did get the win, but I needed something a little bit more from you, buddy. Just a little bit. There's nothing wrong with having fun with it. It's just when you start getting addicted to it, it's when it becomes a problem. And apparently that's what happened with Terry Rozier. That he got addicted to it. Start getting that money, you get greedy, man. Like, you getting cash money already, dog, unless you are wildly spending it. It's like, yeah, man, y'all drop X amount of dollars on this. I'm gonna do this tonight. Like, I'm telling folks that. And then the whole thing with Damon Jones giving information about players and saying, hey, you need to do this and you can cash in on that. Come on, bro. What you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing, man? That is not okay. But like I said, sports gambling is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. As long as there's state lotteries around the country, sports books stay open. And our neighbors, Illinois, they got all of that. Sports books and the lottery. You got to go across the water just to go make a bet on a team. So it's not going anywhere. It's just unfortunate some people got caught. But considering where the country is going right now, that is your biggest thing that you wanted to do. It's not but trying to do this like you John Cena. Because there's your hands in other stuff too. that you're not even daring to touch. That's been out there in the news for quite some time. But we focusing on sports gambling. I got it, boss. I got it. All right, I'm gonna shorten this bad boy up, man. I am. You know what? I can talk NFL, and I need to talk NFL because who in the world are the Indianapolis Colts, yo? I gotta talk about this before I get out of here. Who are the Indianapolis Colts? Like, I'm not getting this right now, and big ups to Carly Gordon, because how can I put this delicately? You've had a favorable schedule all season long. A favorable. I didn't even think my man was going to show up today. I really didn't. But why not? Why? Let's get him in. Ladies and gentlemen, the doc has arrived. There he is.
What's good?
What's up, sir?
How you feeling, man?
I'm perturbed right now, man. Perturbed.
Why is that?
This is my question. Who are the Indianapolis Colts, man?
Hey, they looking good though.
Their opponents. I'm saying it out loud so you can hear me. Dolphins, the Broncos, the Titans, the Rams, the Raiders, the Cardinals, the Chargers, and again the Titans. You didn't play.
Win.
Loss. There's a loss. There's a loss in there.
There is a loss. Yeah.
And they should have lost to the Broncos. We ain't gonna really get to that. There's a lady by the name of Tarika who does WNBA. She's a big fan of Colts and her Detroit teams. And I've been wanting to sit there and dog her teams out so bad. But I will applaud Carly Gordon, the owner of the Colts. And I'm really starting to believe that this team is fighting for the legacy of Jim Irsay.
Hey, I don't know what their inner secret is. They going after it though. I'm gonna tell you, they working this joint.
Weak. That schedule is weak. It's weak. It's weak.
Yeah.
It's weak. And I guess you got to do what you got to do when you get a weak schedule.
Yeah. I mean, you can't expect them to not take advantage of it. And people underestimated them. And they showcasing what they can and what they will do. Here's what it is.
So right now, as we sit,
I mean,
I was saying right now, as we sit, three teams are on top of their divisions, and then Doc stepped out for a second. 3 teams right now on top of their division that we would have never expected them to be on top of. Pause. Indianapolis Colts at 7-1. The Patriots are back at 6-2. And the Broncos are at 6-2 right now, with the Steelers falling behind at 4-3. So if they get set up the way that it's set up, I would think Patriots would be the 2nd seed, the Broncos would be the 3rd seed, the Steelers would be the 4th. But as we sit right now, Colts sitting at 7-1. And I'm sitting here, and I'm saying to myself, is this team for real? But Did I pull it up? Please say I pulled it up today. I'm gonna be so mad. Yes. I want to pull up some post-game clips, a post-game clip from Carly Ursay on the importance of her being on the sidelines for those games.
I need to learn more about this. I need to be able to say, is this person full of BS? Do they even know what they're talking about? And I think one of the things that being on the headset has really helped me learn is, to the question earlier, it's such a complex organism, a football team and how it operates. And on game day, and you could say, oh, that person ran that route wrong. When you learn to find, oh, someone tagged the wrong wide receiver, and it wasn't really the player's fault. It was the person that called it. So, and it's never, I think that's been a very valuable, because it also helps us be able to know, where do we need to make tweaks? What resources do we need? What do we need to fix? So much of it comes down to just how we operate and how things work. And the headsets are really, I wish more, I would suggest it for anyone else that has to pay coaches and GMs millions and millions of dollars. It helps you make a less expensive mistake potentially.
That's taken from an NFL owner herself in her first year as owner of the Indianapolis Colts, taking over for her late father, Jim Irsay. That's Carly Ursay Gordon. And that is a mysterious thing right now, is the favorable schedule, and you got your owner down on the floor making stuff work. What's going on, Wyatt? Shout out to Quincy Workman, Texas Syndicate Football, and shout out to the San Antonio Toros now being a part of the Continental Football League too. Man, things are starting to shape up, and if you get a chance, folks, make sure that you check out the interview with the Player 54 podcast on their recent episode. They talked with the owner of the Toros. Hey man, listen, don't get mad at me that the name is escaping me. I'm getting up there in age and I can't remember everything all the time. All right, so listen, don't get mad at me. There it is, Josh Romero. Make sure that you get a chance to check out that interview. It is now available at the Player 54 podcast. You can find it wherever you find your podcast. Hopefully that you tuned into Outlaw Sports Talk on yesterday. And I'm chiming in on what Spurge was saying about this crisis he thinks is happening with sports gambling. Sorry, dude. It's going to continue. This is not like back in the day where there's bookies. One of the best comedies I had seen got canceled by HBO Max, and I was heated about it. And that show was Bookie with Sebastian Maniscalco. I can't pronounce his crazy last name. I told you, man, I'm bad. I'm getting bad with names. I used to just Maniscalco. I'm getting bad with names now. But yes, him and Omar Dorsey were comedy. And these are the days of sports betting where it's not what it used to be. You're not going to a bookie making a bet no more. You're doing everything on your phone. The bookies are on your phone. And guess what? They gonna get their money however they get it. It's interesting hearing from mob members about what's going on currently. It's very interesting hearing about the mob. When you hear the story about Henry Hill I think it was with Boston College. It was bookie stuff. Straight bookie stuff. It's getting out of control now, man. Something just messed me up. I'm at the end of the stream now. Shoot. Woo. I gotta get out of here. All right, y'all. It was Boston College. Okay. Look at Spurs jumping in. This ain't the same no more. This ain't about writing down bets and whatnot. Everything is phone purposed. It's just not going to end, yo. It's not going to end. It's going to continue. There's no crises here. Just people getting caught doing the wrong stuff. Doing it illegally. That's what that is. Because people going to still keep playing. Again, before I go, if you going to get rid of sports betting, get rid of the lottery too. And then you got to get rid of the casinos. All of that. But folks want that green paperback. Just like that. They want it. And they'll do whatever they can to get it. All right, that'll wrap things up for this edition of the show. The Colts still don't believe in them. Shout out to the Texans getting that dub against San Francisco. We still got a playoff fighting chance. We still gonna make it. Really?
No, but look, I think this is a fascinating topic because I talked about it on Outlaw, and I want us to
Thursday.
We do, bro, because I think there's something to this and the whole aspect of sports betting now in sports. When you're talking, you're going to allow college athletes to start betting on sports.
You have to be 21 to do it, though.
That's true. You have to. But I think this is a very interesting topic. And I think there is a way it can be done where it doesn't get anybody in trouble. And we can talk about that more on Thursday. Other than that, that's all I wanted to say. I love you, bro.
I love you too, man. Good guy, Spurge. He tuning into the show. I tune into his too. So when I can, but I'm making sure Wednesday I'll be there for his show, 6 p.m. on right here on the X Fan Show page. Got some great stuff coming within the. I think we're pushing everything back. Everything's being pushed back because we want to make sure we just get the year out cool, just kind of lay low, and then bang, we're gonna hit y'all with something coming the new year. Okay, so all right, thank y'all for tuning in. Thanks for the good Reverend Doctor jumping in real quick. And Spurge also chiming in to make sure you jump on with us Thursday, same time, 12 o'clock noon. Be right here on the X Fan Show page. And World Series go on tonight. And then make sure you check out the full slate of NBA games. And then who's the Thursday night game? We'll talk about that Thursday. We ain't gotta worry about it tonight because it's Tuesday. All right. So we pulling in. Stop has been made. All right, we about to get up out of here. I love y'all too, YouTube. Shut up. We'll keep playing after that. All right, y'all. We'll be back on next time. Y'all too. What?